Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Envision the rich, resounding voice that has formed probably the most notable minutes in diversion history. A voice that is perceived by ages from telling scenes as Darth Vader in Star Battles to the insight of Mufasa in The Lion King. In the present video, we'll likewise take you inside his extravagant New York genuine domain and get a brief look at the work of art vehicles that characterize his downplayed, at this point, refined style. We'll likewise address the reports encompassing his passing. At long last, we'll reveal his dumbfounding total assets, fabricated through going about as well as through a heritage that has left a permanent imprint on the diversion industry. Every one of the subtleties you really want are here in this video. We should make a plunge presently. James Baron Jones, the notorious American entertainer who died on September 9, 2024, at 93 years old, left behind a striking heritage, not simply on the planet of diversion, yet, in addition, as far as his monetary accomplishment, with the total assets assessed at $40 million. Jones partook in a lifelong that crossed more than 70 years, during which he became one of the most respected figures in Hollywood. His commitments were perceived with various esteemed grants, including 3 Emmy grants and 3 Tony grants. A Grammy grant, what's more, a privileged Oscar, procuring him the intriguing qualification of being an EGOT beneficiary, a title held for the individuals who have won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Indeed, even in his later years, Jones remained dynamic, frequently loaning his particular voice to different activities and incidentally gracing the stage. James Baron Jones was brought into the world on January 17, 1931, in Araba, Mississippi. Jones's initial life was set apart by huge commotion after his father passed on the family to seek an acting profession in New York and Hollywood. Jones was raised by his grandparents on a homestead in Dublin, Michigan. This move was part of the incomparable movement, a mass development of African Americans from the country south to the modern north in search of better open doors. The progress from Mississippi to Michigan was a geological shift, as well as a significant change in Jones' reality as a kid. Jones confronted impressive challenges. Most strikingly with his discourse, the pressure of moving and adjusting to a new climate exacerbated his trouble with correspondence. His battle with a serious stammer drove him to stay quiet for a period during his early years. It was only after secondary school that he started to get comfortable with himself, thanks to some extent to a strong educator who assisted him with beating his discourse obstruction. Notwithstanding this progress, Jones keeps on showing hints of a gentle stammer, an indication of the obstacles he has beat subsequent to finishing secondary school. Jones at first sought after a pre-medical schooling at the College of Michigan, mirroring an unexpected way in comparison to the one that would characterize his profession. Anyway, the organized climate of the military engaged him, and he joined the whole workplace's preparing Corps rock. This choice denoted a crucial shift in his direction. The approaching prospect of being drafted into the Korean conflict affected his decision to dive into a show driven by a craving to investigate something satisfying before possibly confronting the vulnerability of battle. Jones' time in the military was set apart by discipline and authority. Following the end of the Korean conflict, he was sent as a lieutenant, and he went to officer school. His administration incorporated a job as a chilly climate preparing administrator in Colorado, and he accomplished the position of lieutenant before his release. The abilities and encounters from his military administration would later illuminate his depiction of characters with gravitas and authority after his tactical help. Jones completely invested in the expressions signing up for the School of Music, Theater, and Dance at the College of Michigan. His introduction to theater was not simply a scholastic pursuit. However, it was an enthusiasm project that permitted him to channel his encounters and feelings into his specialty. His experience in both medication and military helped furnish him with a one-of-a-kind viewpoint that enhanced his exhibitions. Jones started his professional acting vocation in the mid-1950s with a striking execution in a development of William Shakespeare's. This presentation denoted the beginning of what might turn into a critical center around Shakespearean jobs. The 1960s saw Jones secure himself as a conspicuous Shakespearean entertainer, acquiring acknowledgement for his significant translations of exemplary jobs. His exhibitions during this period not only displayed his excellent acting abilities, but also established his standing as a serious and persuasive presence in the theater, lined up with his accomplishments on stage. Jones wandered into film in the 1960s. His movie vocation initiated with jobs in Stanley Kubrick's humorous work of art, Specialist Odd Love, and the film transformation of Graham Greene's The Jokesters. These early film jobs furnished Jones with a stage to reach a more extensive crowd and showed his flexibility past the stage. One of the extremely important occasions of Jones' vocation came with his part in the incomparable White Expectation, both the stage play and its resulting film variation. His depiction of Jack Jefferson, a person motivated by the genuine fighter Jack Johnson, gathered huge recognition and raised Jones to public conspicuousness. This job featured his capacity to bring complex characters to life, building up his notoriety as a strong entertainer skilled in directing both stage and screen. The 1970s got a huge shift Jones' profession with his notable job as the voice of Darth Vader in George Lucas's pivotal film Star Wars. A new expectation, the person's profound, resounding voice became quite possibly one of the most conspicuous in artistic history, further laying out Jones as a remarkable, furthermore, compelling figure in the film industry. His depiction of Darth Vader goes on in the spin-offs The Domain Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, hardening his heritage in the Star Wars establishment. Jones' profession prospered in the 1980s with a progression of prominent film jobs. He showed up in real-life pressed films like Conan the Savage, where it was an ideal fit to order presents for the dream epic. His job in Coming to America, a satire, exemplarily exhibited his reach and capacity to handle different types. Divine Location, another Dearest film, highlighted Jones in a presentation that further showed his flexibility and close-to-home profundity. The 1990s kept on being a productive period for Jones. He featured in a few effective movies, including The Chase After Red October Nationalist Games and Clear and Present Peril. Every one of these jobs permitted Jones to investigate unique aspects of his acting ability. Moreover, his voice fill-in as Mufasa in Disney's The Lion Ruler became one of his most treasured commitments, mixing his unmistakable voice with a person that resounded with crowds of all ages, all through the 1990s. And then some. Jones extended his presence on TV. He took on jobs in series. For example, Gabriel's Fire Roots, The Following Ages, and Heat Wave, illustrating his capacity to adjust to the mode of TV with equivalent expertise. Jones' TV profession further included appearances in well-known shows like Regulation, What's More, Request, Wool, and Effortlessness. Over Two Men, The Theory of the Universe's Origin, and The Simpsons, where his voice work proceeded to dazzle crowds during the 2010s, Jones got back to his stage courses, centering more on live exhibitions. His revisitation of the stage was set apart by an outstanding appearance in a progression of plugs for Run Close By, Malcolm McDowell. The plugs, including sensational recitations of unremarkable telephone discussions and instant messages, featured Jones getting through mystique, also with dramatic flair. Jones' association with his notable jobs went on with prominent repeats in 2019. He returned as Mufasa in the CGI redo of The Lion Lord, coordinated by Jon Favreau. This job permitted him to reconnect with a character he had initially brought to life many years sooner. Moreover, he reprised his job as ruler Jaffe Joffer in Coming to America 2021, mirroring his continuous impact in the business. In 2022, Jones' voice was highlighted in the Disney miniseries Obi-Wan Kenobi through progressive resuture innovation, which used his accounts to reproduce the voice of Darth Vader. This creative use of his voice denoted another section in his inheritance, as he marked an arrangement with Lucasfilm to permit future utilization of his voice accounts for the person in the genuine domain in Pawling, New York. Moreover, to his unbelievable profession in film, TV, and theater, James Barron Jones discreetly amassed a great genuine bequest portfolio in the quaint town of Pawling, New York. When of his passing, Jones claimed 10 properties in this unassuming community, a spot that obviously turned out to be something other than a retreat for him. It was a home. His excursion into the world of Pawling land started in the 1980s, when he previously bought a property that would check the start of too many years of development nearby. Quite possibly his most remarkable securing happened in 1994, when Jones purchased a 3,700 FTL for almost $2,000. This property is ideal for engaging visitors, flaunted highlights that reflected both solace and class. The roomy stone and hardened steel kitchen was ideal for facilitating family, and furthermore, companions with a huge center island. What's more, the breakfast region washed in regular light, and the kitchen opened into a stupendous two-story family room secured by a dazzling floor-to-ceiling stone chimney that filled in as the room's highlight. This space breathtakingly offset comfort with glory, making it an inviting spot to accumulate. The residing space didn't end inside the home. Thanks for watching this video.